Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya wal mursalin. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihim ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Today here is our third meeting for classroom action research. And then this video will be my last video for you guys to learn about new topic classroom action research. Yeah, starting from next week, we are going to switch part. Yeah, you're going to be the one that giving the explanation. I'm gonna divide it you guys into several groups, and then you're going to explain every topic that I will share with you guys. So I will come to your guys meeting or to your guys class when you guys ready to explain the new topic that I will give every single week. Yeah, and since today is my last time to give you guys the explanation about classroom action research, I hope you guys will watch this video full, yeah, without skipping, because this is the main point of your guys topic or your guys learning material for the fourth meeting. Yeah, so if you guys haven't watched this video complete in a full duration, so you guys will miss my explanation for this meeting. Yeah, okay, let's try to share the topic that we'll have for our fourth meeting today. Yeah, classroom action research. One more time, today is our fourth meeting. Yeah, our first meeting we already discussed about the overview of this subject, and then also the history of classroom action research. And then second meeting we are discussing about characteristic of classroom action research. Our third meeting we have our Q&A session, our first ever Q&A, and then some of you guys call that one as our emergency meeting because some of the program that we have. Yeah, and then here classroom action research. Now let's have a look here. What is it that you're going to learn? Yeah, for this meeting, for the fourth meeting here, our main topic it is about planning and implementing CAR. Yeah, planning and implementing CAR here. It means how that you're going to plan in conducting a classroom action research. Yeah, and then this one planning and then implementing CAR here, you can do it now because you are currently not a teacher. Yeah, when we had our first and then second meeting, I already taught you guys that to conduct a classroom action research, you have to be a teacher first, or you have to be the lecturer first, so you will be able to conduct a classroom action research. Okay, so what is it? The main point in planning and implementing classroom action research here. First, here it is the aims. Yeah. After learning this topic, the student will be able to the first identify the problems. Yeah, how that you're going to identify the problems. One more time, when you become a teacher, you have to identify your problem when you teach your student. Yeah, it will be your problem as the teacher, or it will be the problem that faced by the student while they joining your uh, teaching process. Yeah, and then second one here, describe step in preparing the solution. Describing step in preparing the solution here, it means we have many kind of alternative solution. We have a massive kind of solution that we can provide, that we can implement to solve our problems. But first of all, you have to be able in describing the best alternative solution that you guys can provide for classroom action research. And the next one, explain step in implementing classroom action research. If I'm not mistaken, from our first or second meeting, I already taught you guys about step in implementing classroom action research. What are the steps that you have to know, that you have to understand before you're going to conduct classroom action research? And the next one, gather and finding data. Yeah? Gather and finding data, it means how that you are going to collect the data collection technique, yeah, or procedure. And then how that you're going to find the data that you need to complete your classroom action research. And the next one, after gathering and finding the data, you need to know how that you're going to analyze the data, or here, data analysis, yeah. And then next one, following steps in making classroom action research. So this will be the main point of our discussion for today here, guys, yeah. Planning and implementing classroom action research. Okay, now let's start with step in classroom action research first, yeah. uh, Step or the procedure in classroom action research, we come with the first here, planning. Yeah, planning here based on our reflection as the teacher, as a lecturer, yeah, based on real kind of problems that we face when we deliver learning material to the students, yeah. And then planning itself here also based on our strength, based on our weaknesses, what kind of strength that we have that we can make to solve the problem that we had when we teach the student. That was the first one. Planning here is consists of the preparation, yeah, preparation, how that we are going to make a classroom action research, how that we are going to do it step one by one, so we can make a complete kind of classroom action research. That was the first. It is planning classroom action research, okay. And then after we plan what we are going to do for classroom action research, and then also planning what kind of alternative solution that we are going to implement, we come to the next one, action, or the process of implementing the solution. Yeah, action here, it can be the treatment, yeah, or the alternative solution that we provide to solve our problem based on the first step that we had, the planning one. Yeah, and then after action or implementing the solution that we uh, give to the student, we have to do an observation or observing. Yeah, how did the alternative solution can be the main thing that help the student to solve their problem. Observe also here need to uh, describe, yeah, to describe based on the learning process, starting from the beginning and then also with the end of learning and teaching process. That the observation main here. And the next one, reflection. Next one, reflection here refers to a process of evaluating, a process of measuring how well, yeah, how good our alternative solution that can solve our problem. Yeah, that's four steps. Yeah, that's four procedure that commonly used when we do classroom action research. Starting with the first one, planning. Second one, it is action or implementing or treatment. And then the third one, it is observe. And then last one, it is reflection. That was the four first steps in classroom action research. So it's pretty simple. Yeah, first is planning, second one, action, third one, it is observe, and then last one, it is reflection. Okay, I hope you guys will memorize this one, because this is the simple steps. How that you going to make how you're going to conduct classroom action research. Okay, and then after you guys already aware, already comprehend about step in making classroom action research, next one, you have to be able also in making a problem identification. How that you are going to identify the problems? Yeah, what is it that you have to identify while focus on the problems that you want to solve based on your teaching process, teaching and learning process? And then what are those problem identification here that you can make or you can create while making classroom action research? The first here, it should be real problems that happen in classroom. Yeah. So this research here called classroom action research. So the problem that you guys should take here is based on the problem that you guys face in teaching and learning process in a classroom. Yeah. And then talking about classroom here one more time, I would like to remind you guys, it is not only a physical kind of building with a class, but it can also an online kind of classroom, as long as it is consists of, what is it? It is consists of the teacher, student, yeah, aims, and then also the learning material. Yeah, so you can consider that also a classroom. Yeah, so the first real problems that happen in a classroom. That's why this research, one more time, called classroom action research. And then next one, problems that faced by the students. Yeah, so here as a good teacher or as a professional teacher, you have to be able in diagnosing, in identifying what are those problems that faced by the student while joining your teaching and learning process. Yeah, you have to give your own note on it, and then you have to be aware of what kind of problem that really make the student difficult to understand your subject or your lesson. That was the second one, problem that faced by the student. And the next one, problem here should match with the strength and then weakness of the teacher. Yeah, and then I already mentioned it earlier. When you guys try to identify the problem here, it should be based on the strength as a teacher and then the weakness of the teacher. Yeah, why this based on the strength? Because we are talking about giving an alternative solution. Yeah, we have to measure ourselves first here. What is it our strength in teaching, and then try to implement our strength, make it into a strategy, a method or approach, so we can give a solution to the students' problems. Yeah, and the next one, limited problems that appear in teaching and learning process. One more time, this research here called classroom action research. So the research based in a classroom and then also based on the problem that happen while teaching and learning process. That's why here it is limited problems. Yeah, the significance of the problem, it should be based on what happened in teaching and learning process. And then next one, this I guess the most important one that you have to consider while making classroom action research in uh, identifying a problem here. The problem should be based on priority to develop the school. So we have a smaller area in a classroom, but our main area or in a wider domain here, we have to be relevant with the target of the school. Yeah, and then in order also here to build or to develop our school, the problem should connect, yeah, with the classroom and then also the policy of the school to develop the school into a better one. Yeah. And then next here, what kind of problem that you guys can find in a classroom? And then while finding a problems and then also formulating a problems, you can answer several questions here to make sure it is relevant with the target, with the aim of conducting classroom action research. So the first question here, what happened in my classroom? Yeah, so you have to make your self-reflection first. What happened in your classroom as a teacher? And then second one, what the cause of the problems? Yeah, and then the cause of the problem, why the problem happens? Yeah, what is it, the factor, what is it, the reason that the problems happen in a classroom? And the next one is the what is the effect of the problem? You have to also mention the effect of the current problem that you guys face while teaching your student. And then next one, what will happen before the problems here have solution? So if you try to avoid the problem that faced by the student, what will happen? Yeah, so you have to also answer it by yourself here, a self-reflection. And then last one, after the first here question, the next one, the fifth question here, what can we do to solve the problem? This one here deal with your guys' alternative solution to solve your student problem. Okay, so that was how that you guys can do a problem identification, identifying the problem in a classroom. One more time, classroom here is a smaller part that in a school. All policy and then all decision that you have to take while making a classroom action research should be relevant with a bigger or wider aim or target of the school to develop the school. Okay, that was a problem identification, guys. And then next one, analyzing and formulating problems. Yeah, after we already identifying the problems, what we have to do next is we have to analyze the problem, and then also we have to formulate the problems in order to find the best alternative solution for the problem. And then here, after identifying the problems, the teacher need to make an analysis. Yeah, as I said it earlier here, after you guys as a teacher identifying the problem, you already found the problem now. And then after that one, you have to analyze. You have to do an analysis based on the problems. Yeah, in order to formulate the problem clearly. The problem here, it should be clear, so you will have you will have a relevant kind of solution for the problem. And then next one, analysis using reflection based on student result, attendance list, learning material, or student report. Yeah, next one here, analyzing using self-reflection. Yeah, self-reflection, I mean here you can measure yourself, you can ask yourself how well did you deliver the lesson to the student, and then how far that the student can understand about your learning material, and then it's also about their motivation while joining your lesson. That will be self-reflection. And then also based on student result here, student result, it means the score based on their performance while we give them tasks, or they have to fill the quiz, or when you ask your student to do a project, yeah, you can give them the score, and then you can use this score here to make an analysis. And the next one also, attendance list. You can measure those students that joining the class every single meeting, and then you can also analyze that student that only come to the class and then without doing not without doing anything. Yes, it means just come into the class and then sit down and then only to following the formal thing. Yeah, That's the attendance list. And the next one also the learning material or student report. Learning materials here, the subject, any kind of topic that you deliver to the student, they really comprehend the subject or the topic or not. And the next one, yeah, it is student report. Yeah, student report, it's mean the progress of each student after joining any kind of subject or any kind of learning material. And then next one, uh, after making an analysis of the problems that faced by the student in a classroom, next one, how that we are going to formulate the problems. Yeah? Formulating the problems here, the common way or the general way that you can do here, the first, it is using a questions. Yeah? Formulating problems here, you can start making it using a question. It should be a question. And the next one, after question, preparing solution for the problems. Yeah, preparing solution for the problems here. It's mean if the problem here based on the speaking skill, so the solution here, it should match with speaking skill. If the problem here based on listening skill, so the alternative solution here is the best solution for listening skills. Yeah, and then here the example that I wrote for you guys. The example here, the use of CLT in increasing student reading mastery. So from this kind of problem formulation, yeah, we have here two variable. The first here we call this as the variable solution, the use of CLT. And then second one, the problem variable here we call student reading mastery. So we got two variable. The first here is solution, and then second one it is the problem. Yeah? And then why CLT, and then why reading mastery, we have to put all the reasoning behind the choosing of communicative language teaching and then also reading mastery in our background of the study. Okay, and then that's all for analyzing and formulating problems. I hope you guys can understand the step here, and then it's pretty simple, I guess. After analyzing and then formulating problems, we go to the next step. Next step here, planning the solution. Yeah. So we are ready analyzing the problems, and then also we are ready formulating the problems. And the next one, what is it? The solution, how that we are going to plan to implement the solution. Yeah, so here how that we are going to solve the problem in a form of action hypothesis. Yeah, and then second one, an analysis of our action hypothesis. So it is not only formulating or making an action hypothesis, but we have to analyze, we have to make an analysis of our action hypothesis as well. Based on the previous example, the use of CLD in increasing student reading mastery here. So the action hypothesis, it can be the use of CLT can increase the student reading mastery. So that will be our action hypothesis. That was for the planning the solution. And then next one, implementing classroom action research. Here several steps or several procedure that you guys have to do while implementing classroom action research. Yeah. So the first here, it is the preparation. Preparation here consists of the planning itself, consists of diagnosing the problem, consists of identifying the problem, and then also consists of formulating the problem, and then choosing the best alternative solution. That will be in a part of the preparation. Or the first, it is planning. And then next one is providing an action. Yeah? One more time, this research called classroom action research. So we need to do an action. we need to do the treatment. We need to make an implementing of our alternative solution. That's why here, the second one, in implementing classroom action research, we need to provide action. And the next one, observation and then interpretation. Observation and interpretation here, it's mean we are going to describe, yeah, start from our teaching and learning process, starting with our evaluation based on the process of action that we have, the process of giving the treatment. And then we try to make our interpretation based on the result or based on the finding of classroom action research. And the next one is data analysis. What is it in data analysis? Data analysis refers to the process collecting the data. After we already collect the data or gather the data, we try to make a group of data, or we try to make a category of data, so we can give our analysis, so we can give our interpretation based on the finding. And the next one here, we have the reflection. Reflection itself refer to find out how succeed our action or our treatment, our alternative solution that we give to the student in giving the solution for the problem. And then reflection also here will give us a chance to make a conclusion whether our classroom action research here is a success one or it is a failed one. If we think, for example, from the first cycle, we haven't get the target of our aim for doing classroom action research. So based on the reflection, we need to make more cycle, and then we can go for the second cycle, third cycle, till it's match or till it's based on our target in conducting classroom action research. And then last one, a follow-up. Yeah, a follow-up here refer to a process of making it happen. Yeah, so we already conducted the classroom action research. So what's next? Yeah, a process of after doing the research. What is it? Our plan next to make a more better kind of research, to make a better kind of teaching and learning process. And then one more time, the core point or the main point of conducting classroom action research, it is to improve the quality of learning. Yeah. So the follow-up here, we have to make sure that our classroom action research result here can provide the best solution for the students. Yeah, that's for implementing CAR. And then for the conclusion for our today's meeting here, the first, planning CAR need the specific treat for the problem faced by the students. Yeah, so problems, one more time, faced by the student. And then it can be also a problem that faced by the teacher while teaching the student. And then second one, for the conclusion, implementing CAR based on steps that we need to do as a teacher. One more time, a professional teacher, every single meeting, starting from the first meeting, second meeting, and then third meeting, I always told you guys, if you want to be a professional kind of English teacher in the future, you need to do a classroom action research. Yeah, so every single time that you find a problems that faced by a student, you can come with your solution. So the student will have their meaningful kind of experience while learning the material from you as a professional English teacher. Yeah, I guess that's all that what I can deliver for you guys for our fourth meeting today, and then as I explained it before, this meeting will be my last time to explain the topic of classroom action research for you guys, because starting from next week, we are going to switch part. You're going to explain the topic that I gave based on a group kind of presentation. So this will be the last time that I will give you guys the explanation. Yeah, I hope you guys can understand every single uh, explanation that I share with you guys. And then I hope one more time you gonna watch this video full. Yeah, so if you try to skip it, that will be useless for you guys, because you need to learn about all the learning material that I uploaded for you guys. Yeah, that's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully next week when we switch the part here, that you're going to be the one that giving explanation about the topic that I will give. We'll have a better kind of discussion, and then we'll have a better kind of experience while learning about classroom action research. That's all one more time, and then stay healthy, stay safe. Let's hope one more time the pandemic will be over soon, so we'll have a face-to-face kind of teaching and learning process. Yeah, and also stay being an awesome student. And then last, wallahul muwafiq wal hadi ila sabilir rasyad. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.